If it's about love, if it's about justice, waking justice.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Austin Haynes with the Waking Justice Project, and this is your daily wake-up call. Here's what the Corporatocracy is up to today, December 24th, 2019. You can visit our website at wakingjustice.org for more details. Here are the headlines. So yesterday on your daily wake-up call, we explored the big lies about Trump and Russia. Did Trump collude with Russia in 2016 to leak Hillary's emails and expose the corruption of her campaign? Or did the Hillary campaign just make up the Trump-Russia conspiracy to find some dirt on Trump's people and deflect from their own corruption? Based on the two official inquiries that we discussed in our podcast yesterday, the Mueller FBI investigation of the Trump campaign and the Horowitz investigation into the FBI's surveillance of the Trump campaign, neither inquiry was conclusive either way, and both sides have used the results to bolster their version of the truth. But there's a few indisputable facts that were revealed. First, any independent observer who has reviewed the reports can agree that the evidence provided by the DNC to justify surveillance of Trump's campaign was fabricated, a complete fiction, as Indy Journal's Aaron Monte and Matt Taibbi have explained. Second, early on, even after the FBI figured out that the DNC evidence was faked, the FBI still continued to wiretap the Trump campaign. Third, both lead investigators, Mueller and Horowitz, have acknowledged these facts, but neither encouraged further criminal investigation. Why is that? And fourth, those inquiries created 2 years of perpetual distraction with obsessive coverage by corporate news outlets and exactly no progress by Congress or the Senate on behalf of us, working class Americans. Now, one could say that because of the divisive nature of those inquiries, it stands to reason that the Democrats and Republicans would have struggled to find agreement to pass any new legislation. But in fact, they did. As indie outlet Common Dreams reported just last week, more than 180 House Democrats joined a nearly united Republican caucus last Wednesday to pass a sweeping $738 billion military spending bill that gives President Trump his long-sought Space Force and free rein to wage endless wars, and a green light to continue fueling the humanitarian catastrophe in Yemen. And in 2017, Trump's tax bill passed both houses to become what experts are calling the biggest transfer of wealth from the working class to the richest 1% in U.S. history. Over time, Trump's tax bill eliminates the estate tax and drops corporate tax rates to 20%, the overwhelming benefit of which goes to the very wealthy. And Trump's tax cuts for the wealthy were paid for by the largest cuts to programs for low and moderate income people by any president in the modern era, including $2.5 trillion in cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, education, and other public services over the next 10 years. Even Fortune magazine admits that Trump's tax cuts are the biggest wealth grab in modern history. And by the way, do you know who held that record before Donald Trump? It was Barack Obama, who gave $4.5 trillion to Wall Street bankers through his bank bailout scheme. Experts say that Obama's scheme was designed to enrich the wealthiest Americans and, quote, pretty much only the 1%. And U.S. taxpayers, our children and grandchildren, will be paying off Obama's gift to the 1% while the Obamas live out their golden years in their new $12 million 30-acre waterfront estate in Martha's Vineyard. Hashtag thanks, Obama. You're welcome. But you probably remember learning about all this on CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, right? Yeah, neither did we. And that's pretty much the theme of our podcast today. The Democrats and Republicans are really just the right and left wings of this corporate plutocracy that has hijacked our democracy. They're like the sales department of the corporatocracy, each party with their designated sales markets and target demographics, perpetually competing with each other for top market share. And the corporate news outlets are its marketing department, selling us brand delusion that the US is still a functioning democracy, and that we're making the world safe for democracy, and that freedom, equality, and justice are American values that we all share. Isn't that sweet? But it's all just a grand self-delusion, y'all. And it's us who perpetuate it by continuing to participate in it, as if our votes, critiques, and protests will change things. The great indie intellectuals, Noam Chomsky and Hedges agree. We've got to elevate our activism with an evolutionary leap in our understanding that in a corporate plutocracy, the only political power that the working class has is mass organized boycott. Indeed, mass organized boycott is the only political will that ever effectively challenged such entrenched and moneyed power. It was the salt and textile boycotts that Gandhi organized to help win India's independence from Britain in the 1900s. It was the mass strikes and picket lines that helped U.S. workers in the 1930s win a 40-hour work week, overtime pay, and collective bargaining for labor unions. It was the bus boycotts and restaurant sit-ins in the 1960s that helped Black Americans win civil rights reforms. It was the salad boycotts and grape boycotts of the 60s and 70s that helped win economic justice for migrant workers. And it was the divestment boycotts in the 1980s that finally forced an end to apartheid in South Africa. If you want to learn how all of us in the work of global justice can join together in strategic boycott and force this corporatocracy to the people's bargaining table to end all this injustice and corruption and to help save our planet, please visit our website at wakingjustice.org and check out our About page and listen to our first podcast. And while you're there, you can sign up to get your free daily wake-up call delivered right to your inbox each day. Just fill out the quick form at the top right of our homepage, and each morning by 4:20 a.m., we'll email you a link and quick description of the podcast for that day. And if you want more info on how you can get involved in the Waking Justice Project, you can email us at info@wakingjustice.org. We'd love to hear from you. We're running out of time, y'all, so join us. Peace.
You must be involved in the struggle for freedom and justice.
If it's about love, if it's about justice is waking, justice is rising. Justice is waking, justice is rising. If it's about love, justice is rising. It ain't just us, it's all of us. If it's justice is waking, justice is rising. And it ain't just us, it's all of us. If it's about love, may every soul unite. Tend to fire and let old coals relight. I'm a citizen of the world and we fight for the rights of everybody to live a truly free life. Red or yellow, black or white, left or right, gay or straight, human or animal, all life. Cause what matters is what is in common. If you know it, stand tall and keep dropping the knowledge. Justice is waking, justice is rising, and it ain't just us, it's all of us. If it's about love.